guests with me here this afternoon, and allow me to give you the opportunity to quickly introduce yourself as you also give us your opening remarks based on the launch of the high impact investment portfolio.
Thank you very much. My name is Francesca. I'm here from the Global Steering Group for Impact Investment, and yesterday was the first official start of our conversation with different stakeholders in Kenya to begin the start of launching a national advisory board, which I can talk more a little bit later.
All right. And a man who needs not much introduction, Chris Diaz, a conservationist, also sits in the East Africa Business Council and the marketing director at Bidco.
Thank you very much. It'd be great to see also the new coins having the wildlife, especially the elephants and the giraffes and lions.
Oh, yes.
Thank you for inviting me today.
I knew you'd definitely find a way to say that.
Thank you.
Well, let's just pick up this conversation with looking at Kenya is touted to be the gateway into East Africa. But at the same time, the investment climate hasn't been so conducive for a number of reasons. This touches on red tape. It also touches on bureaucracy.
So we are a multinational organization, so we operate in 21 different countries across the world, and we've selected Kenya as one of the key focus countries for next year because of a number of reasons. So firstly, it was just mentioned earlier, Kenya's really improved in the ease of doing business ranking, so we think that's really positive for private capital to be coming into the country. Secondly, actually half of all impact investment into the region have come into Kenya over the last 10 years. So that's about 600 million, and we expect that with a few recommendations that we have outlined in the report that we will publish at the end of next month, we actually think we can unlock 6 billion of impact investments over the next few years in this country due to a number of different changes that can be required. In addition to that, we think there's a huge, really strong entrepreneurial focus here. We've just heard from 3 wonderful panelists with their own enterprises, so we think that's really conducive to this kind of environment.
All right. And Chris, of course, impact in investment is quite critical, and you've been among the various stakeholders in the industry. Perhaps just talk to us about what is your organization also doing to scale up investments in the region?
Well, thanks very much. So as part of being a group director in Bidco Africa, we're one of the leading manufacturers. Again, this is a big focus for the Big Four. And our biggest focus here is really creating competitiveness in terms of giving really high quality products to the consumers. As you know, we've now invested into beverages, into noodles and so forth. And also that it's important is sitting on the East African Business Council now. We want the private sector, which drives the economies of Kenya, to make it more conducive in terms of increasing employment. And by increasing employment, we're able to increase a lot of East Africa people and Kenya people to be able to earn income that will earn revenue, and that revenue is going to boost the economy of the East African people.
And Chris, many investors say Kenya needs to have like a one-stop shop where if you need to invest, you don't need to knock on so many doors. For you to get your business registered, for you to know who to take you to the next level. How serious are we as a country? And of course, now that you sit in EABC, also as a region?
Well, it's critical. That's really a good question, Abby, first. And I also like what Francesca said, and we welcome you very much into increasing investment opportunities, especially for the youth and for the entrepreneurs, which is a growing sector in the region. So it's very important, both the government and the private sector needs to build a very strong partnership around the investment opportunities. And for here, we also see that other organizations, both of the government side and the funding organizations need to come and give these opportunities. And also the normal youth need to access credit. The president was talking about the next level of where our youth can access credit. That's where some of the challenges are. So we really need to have a center of investment. Again, the Kenya Investment Authority, the Export Promotion Council, the East African bodies coming together to enhance the opportunities and to bring the different bodies together, especially the members, the corporates who are big corporates investing in East Africa, need to have access to those investment opportunities. Again, Abby, you can see that although sub-Saharan Africa, the FDI level came down in the last few years. Last year, $28 billion US. You still saw Kenya showing a strong investment growth, and this is going to benefit the economies of Kenya.
And still staying with matters benefiting the economy, you've talked about unlocking 6 billion. in the Kenyan economy. And are there specific sectors you are really interested in, and what would they be?
So what we would be doing is, through the work that the National Advisory Board, which is a group of high-level actors that represent public, private sector, as well as the third sector, we would be working with them to put forward recommendations for unlocking this capital. We've done this in many other countries before. We've done it in different types of economies, and this is how the GSG can support the local National Advisory Board, but first that would need to be set up. So recommendations would, for example, be working with pension funds to work on how their fiduciary duty could be aligned to impact investments or ESG-aligned investments. We'd be looking at working with Treasury here or Ministry of Finance to be unlocking dormant bank accounts, so bank accounts that haven't been used for a while and that can be used for public good as well. There's a number of recommendations that we have, and we, being global experts in the field, can provide that guidance to a National Advisory Board, kind of by Kenyans for Kenyans.
So you've not fully answered my question, but I'm just keen to find out, right now the government is very keen on 4 areas, that is universal healthcare, affordable housing, of course manufacturing, and food security. Are these areas that you'll be targeting?
So we have a lot of support already from the United Nations UNDP program, which is already working on the healthcare area of those big 4. So we'll be working alongside them, but it's quite possible that the National Advisory Boards would be focusing on unlocking capital for those areas which have the highest impact. All
right. And Chris, coming back to you, looking at these 4 pillars that the Jubilee administration has been fronting, some say it's being overambitious. Some say we need to narrow it down to maybe 2 pillars. Actually, the senator for Nairobi, that is Johnson Sakaja, indicated that why not focus on health and then manufacturing? Because manufacturing will unlock so many opportunities by having special economic zones, and of course this will spur economic returns eventually.
Well, I don't debate with my good friend Honorable Sakaja, but I can tell you that we need to have an integrated solution in terms of the big 4. Manufacturing creates employment. Manufacturing triggers a lot of high-quality products that will benefit the majority of consumers. Don't forget, manufacturing is also going to increase exports across Africa, which means that there will be more foreign exchange earnings, which is coming into Kenya. So again, healthcare is critically important for the lives and to improve the quality of lives of Kenyans. And so it's critical. Food security plays a big role. Agribusiness. Kenya is a strong agribusiness country. So we need to integrate this very strongly through programs and through public-private partnerships. The more the government can bring people like Francisca in terms of financial solutions, bring other investors, bring experts together, bring the East Africans together, because we need to trade also intra-Africa. And all these big 4, Abby, to answer you, is really important how we integrate it. And then we have milestones of success that the president can celebrate, and to make people not only see that there is awareness of the big 4, but the implementation process is critical, that the Kenyans begin to enjoy the benefits.
All right. And Diaz, looking at our manufacturing space, we are currently at 25% of GDP, what manufacturing contributes, give or take. As much as we have all these grand plans, the reality is how do we accelerate? Because we have people getting their fish, they're not doing value addition. We have farmers exporting purely raw kind of products instead of incorporating value add. How do we scale up value add in counties and also at a national level as we wrap up?
Okay, excellent question. So I think this is very important. Again, the point is we are really strongly agribusiness driven. For example, at Bidco Africa, we ensure that we involve the farmers, and we have strong partnerships with thousands of farmers on sunflower, soya. We need to have all the manufacturers increase value addition, and this can only be done through the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, again, private-public partnerships. But most important, I think what you just said is counties. How do we implement a national program, a national plan, where we have World Food Program, we have all international partners, people like Francisca now coming up with the financial solutions, so that we can accelerate value addition. And I think the Blue Economy Conference we just had, there is so much that Kenya has great potential, and we are really excited and looking forward to 2019.
All right. I also look forward to 2019. But We want to see the national cake trickling down. Well, many thanks for your input. We really appreciate this conversation. I'm told we are out of time, and of course, very interesting, engaging. Many thanks, Francesca, Chris,
Thank you
for your time. And of course, you can still engage with us on our social media handles. It does not end here. You can take it on the social platforms. If you have any more questions for Chris or Francesca or myself, we can still engage online. Many thanks for your valued company. That's where we bring it to a close this afternoon. Coming up next, we have a Swahili team that will also be giving you more news from across the country. My name is Abia Gina. Keep it locked on KTN News, your authoritative news channel.